All right, here we are, episode number 22 with Phoenix Rising Live. And my background is a fireside because we are going to be having a quantum fireside chat later in about an hour at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And so if you'd like to join me for that, then make sure you drop me a message or put something in the comments. It's probably better if you message me. But now is not the time for that. Now is the time to talk about how are we dealing with scarcity thinking, the idea that we're separate from source, separate from support, that there's something else we need in this moment other than what we have. And how do you handle that? How do you deal with that when it arises? Because it's a belief. And it's a belief that you created, and it may have manifested itself in some way, shape, or form for you to experience as well, which is your own creation, which is wonderful news, because if you created it, then you can change it. If someone victimized you and forced you into this situation, then there's nothing you can really do about it. But if that's not the case, then there's absolutely something you can do about it. And that's great news. Because it means you can simply shift your perception. So those thoughts that you have that may not be serving you, those scarcity thoughts, you just throw them in this fire here behind me and allow them to burn away, and they will transmute into something new. It's not that you ever delete or destroy the thoughts and they never exist again. They just get put in the place that they belong. And if you think about how you manage your life and how you manage the people in your life, sometimes, and this happens more and more as you become a leader and step into your own authority, sometimes you're putting people in their place because they want to walk over you, step over your boundaries. Some people naturally understand your boundaries and how you set them, and they have that social understanding. They understand those social cues. Some people don't, whether it's because they're from a different culture, different language. Many people have mental barriers going on. They're dealing with mental health challenges to various degrees, sometimes very subtle, sometimes more extreme, because a lot of people are dealing with trauma that they've dealt with and were often born with in their DNA. And that's their life theme, to explore that and transcend that. And it's up to us to have the discernment to know when we're dealing with someone that gets the wavelength we're on and we can really synergize with. And it's up to us to discern when they're not quite there. And sometimes they're definitely not there, and you can tell because the contrast is so stark. And sometimes it's more subtle. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes something looks good on paper, but in your heart, with your intuition, you know that it's not quite lining up for you for whatever reason. And really just trusting that. So allowing the old beliefs to burn away, the old paradigms, the old thoughts, knowing that you are provided for, you have what you need. And as new things come on the horizon that may be relevant to your journey, allow them to manifest as needed. Allow them to manifest in their perfect timing. You think about an opportunity comes and you think, wow, I just want this to be here and now. I just want it to be the way that I want it to be, rather than allowing it to naturally, organically evolve. Sometimes that happens when you get close to the finish line and you can sort of see how things are going to end up. You can get an idea and a glimpse into the future, how specifically it may manifest. But remember, no matter where you are in that journey, whether you're at the start line or closing in on the finish line, you want to have zero insistence, zero assumption about where you're going, what it's going to look like on the other side of that line. Because there's no point. There's no point in insisting. There's no point in wanting it done right now. Obviously, if you're inspired to do something, if it's on your mind that you could maybe be doing something more and you're not quite sure what, then you want to look at that, acknowledge that, appreciate that, allow that to develop, take that time to meditate, be quiet, and don't feel like you have to go into a frenzy or an action mode all the time. Sometimes you're consistently in a momentum of inspired action, great. And if you're noticing that you're feeling drained, you're not feeling fully aligned, take a moment to meditate for a few minutes. You close your eyes, you set your phone timer, you relax, you do some EFT tapping, do some breathing, some gamma breathing, do some exercising, whatever your form of meditation is, but basically allowing your system to calm down, relax, come back to the present moment, and then gain a glimpse into what you can be doing next for yourself. Because the scarcity isn't real, it's just a perception, albeit it may seem very ingrained, it may seem very deep inside of your subconsciousness. But as you understand why it's there, where it came from, how you allowed yourself to create the situation where you may even feel that way, and you just accept that. You just accept that you have created the circumstance, whether it started when you were a child and through your decisions to explore this as your life theme. That was your choice. That was your decision. Right? It was not your parents' fault. It's not society's fault. It's not the government's fault. There's nobody to blame. You're not to blame. It's not necessarily your fault either. It's just your creation from the holistic perspective. It's the life theme that you were meant to explore and play up until this point in time. And the fact that you're becoming aware that there may be a better way, that's likely bringing to mind potential solutions. And it's indicating to you that you're ending that theme of your life and that you're moving into a new reality. And remember what I'm about to say is that your beliefs become very intense when they get close to the fire. Think about it. The closer you put your hand to that flame, the more intense it becomes, the hotter it gets. And your belief systems kick in. My hand's going to burn. And of course, your hand will burn. In most cases, your hand will burn if you put it in that flame. But the beliefs experience it in a similar fashion. The difference is that, yes, that belief will burn away. Yes, it will disappear. And it will reveal the light of truth behind it. So remember, our beliefs don't necessarily operate the same way things do in the physical reality. And if you believe that, then there's something to explore. And that may be why you've been hanging on to particular beliefs, because who am I without this identity? Who am I without these thoughts about me and the world, right? That idea that you might lose a part of yourself, but that's a belief, right? The idea that it might hurt if I let go of this. It's not comfortable now, but I may even be more uncomfortable if I let go of this. That's a belief. So allow those negative beliefs to get close to the flame, throw them into the fire, allow them to burn away, allow them to transmute and take upon another form where they reassemble. And it's not really, technically, they're not reassembling, they're just disassembling and allowing the positive belief to reveal itself. The idea of abundance, totality, completion, support, everything is here now, truly. Everything you need is here and now in this moment. And you, your ego, your conscious mind isn't the dictator of what you need. What you need is what you have. And you have exactly what you need. And just embrace it. And as you do your best, taking action on the inspiration that you have, the things that energize you the most, to the best of your ability, looking at the reflections, the mirrors, the synchronicity that life is revealing to you, taking a look at the beliefs that come up, the negative feelings, emotions, ideas. Are they real? Of course not. But don't make any assumptions about them either. You might think that it means a particular thing or not. There's no reason to assume. Discover what it actually is by looking at it, by following through on it, by challenging your belief systems, your thoughts. And ultimately using your discernment. What's taking me closer to my purpose? What's opening my heart more? What's activating and igniting my passion in a deeper way? Do those things. It's really that easy. It's that simple. Sometimes it seems hard because in order to act on your passion, maybe it seems as though there's a gigantic guardian standing in your way. And it's intimidating. And It seems to have so much more power than you. But remember, you created that. So you must be more powerful than that obstacle, than that guardian you've placed before yourself, because it came from you. So in order for that guardian to exist in your consciousness, it came from your consciousness. So your consciousness, by definition, must be larger than it. So give yourself permission to step through that door. Give yourself permission to confront what you fear, understanding that it will burn away, being shown in the light of your consciousness. It will no longer hold you back. Yes, it may feel intimidating. Yes, it may feel uncomfortable. But when you step on the other side of it and realize that you were supported all along and that everything was always going to work itself out, and you see that and you know that, then as you take those subsequent steps into that cave, into that space of the unknown, beyond the guardian, you may encounter others, but you'll know you can confront them as well. And it gets easier each time as you understand how energy works, how existence is structured, and how your ultimate purpose here in this life is for spiritual growth and evolution, and allowing yourself to be the best version of you. So thank you for joining me, and join me again in about 40 minutes for the Quantum Fireside Chat. We'll have some of the other group leaders in the Quantum Elite community. It'll be wonderful, and we'll be on Zoom, and maybe we'll make a Facebook Live with it as well. We'll determine that in the moment, and I'll see you all on the next episode of Phoenix Rising Live. And remember to join me on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Phoenix Rising Masterclass. I look forward to seeing you there. Continue allowing yourself to transform and evolve and experience the version of reality that you most prefer. Bye for now.